Repeat Dandagooner here. Guys, some really bad news to bring you. You've probably seen it already. Ornstein's just reported it. Kai Havertz is set to be out with a knee injury. They're not sure how long. He will be assessed today, but it doesn't look good. He also goes on to say that could be exploring the transfer market, which doesn't look good, does it, guys? That means to me that he's going to be out for a lengthy period, which is really damaging news for Arsenal fans. And for Kai Havertz himself, he's just come back off, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 months he was out, but he was out. It was January he got the injury and he was out for the rest of the season. He came back for like the last 2 games. Just got himself back. Imagine that you've just got yourself back. He's been in the gym. He looks really strong. And I know we've got Victor Gyökeres, but I think the big thing with Victor Gyökeres is obviously we're not sure if he's going to be able to do it in the Premier League at the level he's done it in the Portuguese league. We know Kai Havertz is not going to get you 20 goals, but I think the season before last it was 13 goals, and half of that season he played in midfield. You know, and last season I think he had 9 in January, so he probably would have got 5 more. So you're looking at a man that could get you up to 15 goals in the Premier League. So it's a big blow for Arsenal. But yeah, before I go on, guys, please, the last video I did about Arsenal, I said perhaps we could go unbeaten, so I'll touch on that again now after this blow. But we did get 2 extra subscribers, which honestly means the world to us. So thank you so much to those 2 subscribers who did subscribe, and anyone who liked and got involved in the comments. Really means the world to us. If you could do the same again, if I could get another 2 subscribers from this video, I'll be over the moon. So just hit the like button, subscribe, and it's gonna encourage us to keep on doing what we're doing. But yeah, back to Kai Havertz. Really damaging blow. You know, I was just saying that I feel like because we're so strong defensively and we've got real squad depth. I know people were laughing at me, but I said there's a chance we could actually go unbeaten this season. Well, listen, let me tell you now, if we don't go and get another striker or at least another attacker, that is not going to be happening, because, you know, Gyökeres he's going to need support. And I think the good thing with Gyökeres, the gamble that we've taken on him, is that if it wasn't working, we have got Kai Havertz, someone who, like I said, he might not get you 20 goals, but he will score goals. You know, he's tried and tested in the Premier League. You know, I think he's been a good player for us. So, you know, we got to 89 points, you know, the most points we've ever got to since the Invincibles, with Kai Havertz up top. And he was only up top for the second half of that season, because that was the first season we bought him, right? If you remember, he started in midfield, which didn't work out at all. Went up top and he started scoring goals. And he does score big goals, Kai Havertz. He really does. So honestly, I've been so positive this whole weekend, going up to Old Trafford, getting 3 points. Been buzzing. You haven't been able to take the smile off my face. I've been looking forward to the Leeds game. And now I'm just thinking, wow, that's a big blow. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus is out. He's always out. Is Kai Havertz going to be another one who's just always going to be injured? You know, they've got to start looking at what they're doing here, the Arsenal. I don't know if it's just unlucky. Are we going to have these amount of injuries again? Because then you've got to look at Arteta and the intensity of training. You know, I don't know. There's something not quite right. We can't afford to get this many injuries again. Because if we do, it could be a season scrapping for 4th. And that's coming from Positive Dan, honestly. So, Arsenal, look. Anyway, just thinking now, Ornstein said that we could explore options for a striker. Who would you guys go for? I mean, I've seen already people coming out and saying, you know, Chelsea fans, take Nicholas Jackson, take him on loan. Now, Nicholas Jackson, listen, he's not a player I'd want to go and spend money on, that's for sure, right? Because Kai Havertz is going to be back, and I prefer Kai Havertz all day long to Nicholas Jackson. But if there was a situation, a world where there's a loan, and it's just a loan with no fee, now I couldn't see why Chelsea would do that to Arsenal, why they would want to help strengthen Arsenal for no reason. And if we were to just pay his wages, I don't see that happening. I feel like Chelsea might feel like they've got a sneaky chance for the title. They don't, but they would probably feel like they have. So I don't think they would do that. But listen, would I take it? Probably yes, because we're like simple as that. But here's an interesting one. What I think Arsenal should go and do: Jamie Vardy, free agent, Premier League experience, Premier League winner. You know, you feel like Gyökeres would be able to learn from him. They're the similar sort of journeys. He made it to the Premier League. He was about the same age when he came to the Premier League as Gyökeres is now. Both were in the lower leagues. So I feel like Jamie Vardy could be a perfect replacement for Kai Havertz. I feel like come on, guys, if you got Jamie Vardy coming on last 20 minutes, he's still got that little bit of pace about him. Arsenal could end up playing we could end up playing 60 odd games this season. So there would be time for him to play. I think obviously his age is a concern, but he's not going to be playing every week. The main man is clearly going to be Victor Gyökeres now. Whether he's scoring or not, he's going to be. There's going to be more and more faith in him. But I think Jamie Vardy could be a sneaky little buy for Arsenal, or a sneaky little free transfer, because it's a sticky situation now. There's only 2 weeks left, if that, 10 days left of the transfer market. So I think Arsenal, we need to act and act fast. So obviously, it was praying that we'd bring in a left winger. Doesn't look like that's going to happen now, because obviously Trossard has signed. He hasn't signed an extension, but he's been given a wage increase. So yeah, I mean, that's a strange deal to me, but I suppose it kind of makes sense. And listen, I'm not against Trossard at all. I think he's had some good moments in an Arsenal shirt. To start for us, no. But to be a good squad player, to come on and he has scored vital goals, I think it's good news. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. Who would you go and sign? What striker would you go and sign? And listen, obviously we'd all love to go on and get involved in the Isak situation now, but it's not going to happen. We've already spent over 200 million. Looks like his heart is really set on Liverpool. Obviously that game now on Monday night, by the way, is going to be tasty. But I think it bodes well for Arsenal that there's an extra bit of spice in that game. Because I feel like Newcastle, they're going to be so up for that. They're just going to be so up for it. The fans are going to be ferocious. So I feel like Newcastle could get the win. And if they do, it's going to be a great look for Arsenal. Because we play Liverpool about a week or two after, right? Actually, a week after. We go to Anfield. So if they're coming off a loss and we're going up there, there's going to be big pressure on them, whether they have Isak or not. So that's something to really, I'll be watching that game very, I'll be watching that game. Hopefully we've done the job against Leeds. That Newcastle-Liverpool game becomes massive. It could be a game for the ages with the whole Isak situation. Just touching on that Isak situation, I think, listen, everyone said he couldn't play for Newcastle again. I disagreed and said, look, he could easily play for Newcastle again. Once he scores a few goals, everything's sort of forgotten. But now he's come out and actually made that statement himself. I think it is Newcastle, and now they're in a difficult situation, because I think they're in a situation where they need to keep this guy. If they want to be with the big boys, they've not been able to get any of their main targets. They go and lose their best player on top of that, who's got 3 years left on his contract, and sort of get bullied into doing it between him, the agents, and Liverpool. It's not going to look good for Newcastle. So me as an Arsenal fan, I'm hoping they dig their heels in and they keep him. But listen, players have got to stop. Clubs need to do it, and players need to stop falling for it. Because when these clubs come and have these gentleman agreements, or someone has an agreement with you, it doesn't mean anything, right? You need to have it written in a contract. You need to get yourself a release clause. That's the only way. So players need to learn from this situation here, because no one knows what's been said. That's the truth of it. No one was in the room. If it's in a contract, it's there. It's official. So if he had it in his contract that he could leave, I'd be saying you've got to let the man leave. But because it's not in his contract, it's not in your contract, mate. You've signed a contract to play for Newcastle, so you've got to go and play for Newcastle. Imagine they made him available for that game. That would be crazy now, wouldn't it? But yeah, what do you think about the Isak situation? Do you think he's right in doing what he's doing, or do you think he should be let? Do you think that they should let him go? Obviously for a reasonable fee. I think it's 150 million they're looking for, which is a lot of money. But he's 25. For me, he's the second best striker in the league after Haaland. So today's market, I guess that's how much players are going for. I think 120 would be fair. To be fair, pardon the pun. But yeah, guys, back to Arsenal. Kai Havertz, real big blow. Who would you sign? Who would you go in and get, striker-wise? Or would you just say, let's go and get a left winger still, and just hope that Gyökeres can stay fit? Because if he gets injured, it's back to Mikel Merino up front. And we are not winning the league with Mikel Merino up front. Honestly, I've gone from just feeling so positive about the season to so negative. And I remember when Kai Havertz when he got injured at the end of, when he got injured in January, right? And we hadn't signed a striker, and I just knew our season was done. And then we went and beat Real Madrid, and, you know, suddenly there was a bit of belief, and you thought maybe we could sneak the Champions League, but it was never going to happen without a striker. You know, who knows what would have happened if we would have had a fully fit Kai Havertz against PSG. It would have been two totally different games, that's for sure. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Who should Arsenal sign? How damaging is it for us? The last video, we got some comments which we were really pleased with. So guys, please don't be shy. Get involved. Let us know what you think. And if you can, like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're desperately trying to get to 200. A few of you guys, I got 2 subscribers from the last video where I was talking about Arsenal's aspirations and the possibility of us going unbeaten. So thanks again to them subscribers, and if you can, guys, please just hit the like button, hit subscribe. It'll mean the world to the channel, it'll mean the world to us. It'll encourage us to keep making videos.